you know, it's very rare, but we were extraordinarily lucky, and as I said, there's still many, many other people there. And one other thing is that just for other journalists, we fight this rumor so hard because false stories like this could encourage future kidnappings. And from the bottom of my heart, no ransom was paid in this case. Our guards were not bribed. We escaped. And I just, it's the truth. And I don't want to see other journalists put in danger because of false stories. And I regret, you know, what I did and what happened to me, and don't want to cause future problems for other people.
Can you imagine going back to report from there?
I cannot imagine going back and reporting from there. And Kristen can tell you, I've already promised her that my days as a war correspondent are over.
They're done.
My days in journalism are not over, but my days as a war correspondent are over.
I just have a couple more questions, and we are running late tonight. But one of the things I was most struck by, you talk about how you hated your captors. You also write in the articles about how they tried to convert you over time, and you described yourself at the beginning of your captivity as either a non-practicing or a non-observant Christian, yet on the, you also talk about how over the course of your captivity you prayed to calm yourself down, and in fact on the night you escaped, you said, "God forgive me 2,000 times." I think, and I just wonder if you could talk about that a little bit. Was this a kind of conversion? Has it survived coming home?
In terms of their efforts to convert me, the more time I spent with them and the more I saw Tahir argue with them, it became clear to me that, and it's overly simplistic, but that Tahir was the true Islam. He was honest. He was, you know, he feared God. You know, he told the truth. And they did not. They incessantly lied to us. They were, frankly, greedy. So one basic thing is to not sort of cede Islam to them or in any way, shape, or form think that they represent this religion. The vast number of Afghans and Pakistanis who are opposed to the Taliban are the majority, and the true Muslims. And in terms of my personal religious beliefs, you know, I don't know if repeating a prayer during the day is, you know, that some greater being hears the prayer and reaches down and you feel better magically, or if it's simply a psychological trick that, you know, you say these things and you feel centered. But it kept me going, you know, faith kept me going, and I'm still not, I would say, a sort of practicing religious person, but it helped me get through this experience.
Finally, and for all of you who haven't read the piece, it really is worth every second it takes to read it, and especially when you get to the end. I mean, it was what was most moving to me. You talk about your first phone call home to Kristen from that Pakistani military base, and you get on the phone and you say, "Kristen," and you write, savoring the chance to utter the words I had dreamed of saying to her for months. "Kristen," I said, "please let me spend the rest of my life making this up to you." "Yes," she said, "yes." So how are you doing on that?
Well, I would say about, I don't know, once every week or two, Kristen turns to me and says, "So I'm still waiting. When is the rest of my life going to start?" But I'm extraordinarily lucky to be home, and so grateful to Kristen and my family and the newspaper for supporting me. And so grateful for the, again, I hated my captors, you know, I'm biased now in terms of covering the Taliban. So grateful for the Afghans and Pakistanis that saved my life. And it's all I'll say is I don't know the answer, but it's not so simple. We can't just walk away from these countries at this point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.